All right, I'm ready for some fun. This is going to be a long one because I have a lot of information to share via Dr. Mindy and another guy that I watch for help with fasting. Today is day 19. I am down to 128.5. It said 128.6. Then no, first it said 128.4. Then it said 128.6. Now I'm just like, you know what? 128.5 it is, right? Yesterday I did some jump rope. Yep. And I helped. I had a little bit of the new pickle juice, just a swig, a little less Gatorade, a little more water. And what else did I have? New pickle juice, just a swig, a little less Gatorade, a little more water. Um, I had the electrolytes a little bit, I think, or no, maybe not. I don't know. But what I was listening to today about a couple of fasters, the fasting advisors was telling me that and reminding me that when you're bigger, you lose more weight in the beginning. And then as you lose weight and get lighter, you start to lose less weight because you're not as heavy. So I put these weights on me. I don't know how much this vest weighs, probably about like 15, 10 pounds, 10 or 15 pounds. And then I put the ankle weights on, walking around with those on. So that's extra weight that I'm dragging around, right? So I'm an extra 20 pounds heavier today, I'm sure. And I'm going to switch it up now, though, because I'm about to do the jump rope. I'm going to do a pickle juice review. I'm going to put the sauna belt on because that's going to help me get some of this stuff out of me. I'm going to put the compression leg massager pants on so that I can help my blood circulate and make me feel like, try to trick my body into thinking that I'm running. Basically. I don't know. I don't know what Dr. Mindy would say about that, but or any other doctors, Dr. Berg or anybody like that. But that's the goal today. See if I can push it past 128 today. I'm gonna show you how I put on the infrared sauna belt, how I put on the compression pants, and review the pickle juice. And I'm gonna jump rope while Mindy is talking. She's gonna give us some good information, and then this next guy, he's gonna give us some different information. And then toward the end of the fast, I'll show you what I got to break the fast with, if I even use that, or just coast on the fast. I might not break it at the end of this 40 days. I got 22, 21 days left. So, no, what did it say? The countdown timer stopped? It's still going. 3 weeks, 5 days. No, 3 weeks, 0 days, 5 hours and 24 minutes and counting. Hi. Let's smoke too. Thank you for joining. Yeah, this is gonna be a long session. I'm telling you, I got four different pickle juices. I'm gonna do those after I do the jump rope. I'm gonna do the jump rope right here because it's gonna be a long time. I'm not gonna be sitting here doing nothing. So hopefully this will push you past 125 today. I'm gonna switch up my gear, show you how I switch it up, and then I'll press play for Dr. Mindy to give us some fasting information. Oh yeah, are you ready? Are you ready for Dr. Mindy? Yeah. All right. First thing is you want to get a towel. Sometimes I use this product called Sweet Sweat and put it on my body, on my skin before I wrap up. But this time I'm not gonna do that because first of all, I don't know where it is. I could find it, but I'm not going through all that. I just don't want to. I just want to do this. I might double it. Yeah, I'm gonna double it because it's just supposed to be around my torso, only around my torso, and then I'm gonna roll some of it up because I don't want this thing to burn me. I can't put it right on my skin because it'll burn me. Yep. Okay, I'm gonna pull it up above my hips because that's as far as it's gonna go, and I want some of this up here so I can roll it down and keep it from sliding up here and doing stuff I don't want it burning me up there, but I do want it high on my back because it slides up. So this should be good enough. This is the space I want to cover. Now, this is the infrared sauna belt. It keeps you warm for up to an hour, and then it will automatically turn off. That's how I put it on. You can make it tighter. Make sure the back is not, I don't want any of this touching my skin because that shit gets hot. I ain't playing those games. All right. So as long as it's doing the areas that I want, this is the timer and the heater control button. Plug that up. It goes up to level 9 and 60 minutes. I can turn it on now. I got the air conditioner on, so I'm gonna go 60 minutes, highest heat is it's gonna go. All right, now press start. Green light. While I'm taking off these ankle weights and these shoes, and switch it up for the compression massager pants. Compression pants, the compression pants. These don't heat up. I didn't get the ones that heat up because I don't know if they had them when I got these. But either way, this is the controller. It has 3 settings: one for compression, one's for circulation, and the other 2 are something special. It's like a specialty pulse or something. I think the whole thing is for compression though. You got a left leg and a right leg. It says on here which one is which. Left and right. This is left. This is right. They go all the way up to the thigh. One size fits all. Okay. So I put my leg in the knee part first. And you're not supposed to be standing up with these on, so I'm gonna sit down. Sit down. And put the thigh on. Let me show you. Because the compression, you're not really there. Okay. So here we go. Untangle this cord. Put this on my thigh. Like that. Don't put it too tight. It said on the instructions because it's going to squeeze the hell out of you. So my knee is open. I'm going to take this off. Well, I'm going to loosen it up because I don't want my leg to get, I don't want the circulation to get cut off because of this. But I want to keep them on. Okay. Then you do this one. Socks, no socks, shoes, no shoes. It's up to you. Well, I wouldn't use shoes, but still, okay. That's as far as I usually go. I don't tighten them up. These are not tightened up, but they come loose. So if you need more space, your leg or your foot, you can do that. All right, that should be good. Then, so this is gonna trick my body into feeling like I'm working out because I'm gonna be sweating and my circulation is finna be going, and then I'm finna do the jump rope all at the same time. My body finna have a blast, right? I was feeling a little heart racing, but I think it's going away on circulation. Yeah, one more thing. One more thing. The jump ropes. Yes, ropeless jump ropes. They look like nunchucks, but they jump ropes. Oops, don't want to hit nothing. Gotta scoot over. Okay, all right. So this thing is on. It started at my feet. It's going up my legs. And then this is what I'm be doing while Dr. Mindy's talking. Just chilling. Oops, trying to do it right, not hit nothing. Okay. Woo. All right. Let me scoot up. Oh, but pickle juice. I'll show y'all that later. Show y'all that after the workout because I'm gonna need it. Oh, all right. Now it's all yours. The stage is all yours, Dr. Mindy. The floor is all yours. Give it to us.
Okay, Facebook, YouTube. Hopefully you guys can hear me. It has been a morning of technical difficulties, so let me know as you are hopping on if you can hear me okay. Hopefully I don't see anybody posting comments yet. So even if my team is there, if you guys can put a comment in there that I know you all are listening to me. Here we go. Yay! Right. Somebody did it. Thank you, Andrea RC, Karen Williams. Thank you. You guys. Oh, here comes everybody. Okay. Amazing. Thank you. Appreciate that, you guys. Yeah, crazy time going live with you guys today. I don't know if it's just been a while since I've done it, but here I am.
Okay, let's beat her up, though.
Here's what I want to do today.
Damn. We're gonna have to speed her up, though. I'm not gonna be sitting here. I mean, I am gonna be sitting here.
The reason I come live to you guys on Fast Training Week is I really want to be able to thoroughly answer your questions around the fast that you are experimenting with this week. And so if you're new to my channels, I just want to point out that what we do is we try to put a post out a couple days ahead of time. If you have questions about Fast Training Week, then you just jump in and you ask those questions ahead of time. So, and then my team gathers the questions and I bring them to you guys. If you have questions while I'm going through this, go ahead and put your question in. Like right now, I can see YouTube and Facebook. I can see your guys' questions as you're putting them in, which is awesome. And I will try to get to as many as I possibly can. And as always, I hope this information over the next 30 minutes as I'm here with you is really beneficial for you in your fasting journey. So let's start with this. This Fast Training Week, we chose the 20 hours. And it asked me, why did I choose 20 hours as my go-to fast for freeing the fat is what I call it. And I'll explain why I call it that here in a moment. But what I want to emphasize is that fast training weeks are really about stretching you. And what I am seeing in the fasting world right now is that people are getting comfortable at their fasting levels. And that's fine. Comfort's fine. It's not like we have to always put ourselves in uncomfortable positions. But what I want you to know about how the body grows stronger is through discomfort. And what's so cool about fasting is that what we know is that the longer you go, there's more healing that kicks in, which is amazing. And it means if you've mastered 13 hours, you've mastered 15 hours, I'm really happy for you. And I want to see how we can get you to get another layer of healing happening by putting a little more discomfort into your fasting journey. So if you're looking for fasting to be comfortable all the time, I think it can, I feel like I can only use myself as far as comfort levels go. I feel like my fasting for me is pretty comfortable. And then 1 to 2 days a week, when I hit that snag where I'm like, ooh, am I going to eat? Am I going to stay the course with fasting? I try to push through another half hour, another hour to see if I can get to that next layer of healing. So with the 20-hour fast, what I have found is that tends to be the moment at which your brilliant body will decide it needs to go find the glucose and the hormones and everything it stored years ago. It's got to go find that somewhere else. And so when blood sugar goes down, what ends up happening is now you will start to see that the body goes after that stored glucose. And it often does not happen at 13 hours. So that's why we've got to do 20 hours. Now, some of you, we're going to do 36 hours this year, and some of you are going to need to go 36 hours to get that same healing effect. So play with it. It's kind of like, the way I look at it is, it's like you're going right to that edge of like, I'm hungry. My mind isn't completely focused. I'm a little uncomfortable. I really want food. Like, you want to dance right to that edge periodically so that the body is forced to go after the stored glucose. So I just really want to point that out, because that's what 20 hours is about.
Right before your blood sugar drop.
Second thing,
all the way
I got to pull my notes here, is that you guys, hopefully you all know that Element Electrolytes sponsors our Fast Training Week. They give away a free box, 5 free boxes, 1 to 5 different people. So 1 box for 5 people every day when we do Fast Training Week, which is amazing. And so many of you guys have sent me messages saying that you feel like the added minerals when you're fasting has been really helpful. So hopefully you also know that Element was actually made for fasters. And I have a great episode where I interviewed Rob Wolf on the Resetter podcast, so you can go listen to that. So know that if you want to win a free box of Element, you just need the companion guide. There's instructions on how to do that. So just put companion guide if you don't have one in the notes, and my team will send that to you. And the companion guide is free. Okay, let's dive into it. Enough logistics. Let's get to the meat of this. The first question that I had was around exercising. So the actual question, let me make sure I read it exactly how it was, is should you be exercising daily during this type of fast? Strength, endurance, light. Okay, so let's talk about where exercise and fasting fits in. And I just put out a video on YouTube on this. So if you guys haven't seen this video, I really encourage you to go look at the video, because when I deliver you information, it's super important to me that you understand the concept. And here's why, is that if I just say, yes, you should exercise, no, you shouldn't exercise, then you haven't really learned anything. You're just taking my word for it. And honestly, this is what we do in most of our doctor's offices. We go in, we say, here are my symptoms. The doctor says, oh, well, you have X, Y, and Z. And then you all of a sudden start to, here's what you need to do to fix X, Y, and Z. And you come out with a pill, not really understanding like why X, Y, and Z actually happened. So whenever I answer questions for you guys, and do videos, I want you to understand the why, so you start thinking for yourself. Okay, so on the exercise thing, if it is over 24 hours of fasting, I want to encourage you to ask yourself why you would be exercising. Because after 24 hours of fasting, you're literally, what you're saying to your body is you're saying, I'm going to take food out of the equation and I'm going to let you do the healing. And I'm not going to mess with anything. I'm not going to bring, this is why I'm not the longer fast. I don't think you should bring supplements into them. I don't think you should bring exercise into them. I think when you hit that 24-hour tipping point, that is the point at which you are honoring this intelligence in your body. And you are saying, hey, you do your job so that so that you can heal. You know better than me. So when we add too much exercise into it, we mess with that. Now, under 24 hours is a totally different topic. And I actually think exercise is phenomenal when you have been fasting 24 hours or less. So, and let me explain why. Is that when you are in a fasted state, there are 3 areas that your body is going to go find glucose from. It's going to go find glucose from your liver, from your fat, and from your muscles. So, and those 3 are kind of happening simultaneously. So when we, let's say, are 16 hours in a fasted state, that's about enough for your body to go, hey, blood sugar's not going up. So we're going to go ahead and go find the stuff we stored. So it's going to all of a sudden go and burn sugar from your liver and burn sugar from fat. Now it's 16 hours. If you go for a run, if you go and lift weights, all of those, anything that's going to stress a muscle, you are also saying to the muscle, hey, I've got some athletic performance here that I need you to do. So release all of the sugar that you have in your muscles. So at under 24 hours, working out in a fasted state is brilliant. And it is the best way to actually lose weight. And if you want to build a strong muscle, I've said this over and over again, and if you haven't heard it, I cannot emphasize it enough. If you want to build that muscle crazy strong, then be in a fasted state, go and lift weights, like heavy weights. And then when you're done, go break your fast with protein. And the reason, and at least 30 grams of protein, the reason that is so important is because now you've put your body into multiple states of autophagy where it is cleaning those muscles out. It's dumping all the extra sugar out, and then you're feeding it protein to build itself stronger. Best hack I know in the fasting world is that hack. So that would be my thing on exercise. This fast, you guys can absolutely exercise. And I would encourage you to do heavier weights so that you can actually build more muscle, because muscle is the organ of longevity. I'm a huge believer in that. And I think we all, especially if you're over 40, we all have to be focused on building muscle. Okay. Ooh, this is another good question. Somebody wanted to know about calorie restriction versus fasting. Isn't this version of fasting 20 hours? Isn't that calorie restriction? The answer is it's not. And I really want to point this out, because I know especially women in hormone world, there are a lot of hormone experts that don't believe in fasting because they say it's calorie restriction. That is not what I'm teaching you. I am teaching you compressed eating.
These old notes made me $43. I uploaded them to StuDocu, and they made me an offer of $43. It took about a minute to...
Time restricted eating. And so if you only have 2 hours, so this is part of why I picked 20 hours. I picked a 4-hour eating window. When you eat. Like I want you to eat. It's not a time to count calories if you only have a 4-hour eating window. So make sure, and then that you're eating enough food. And then the second part of that is make sure that the food is high quality food. You don't have room for error if you have a 4-hour eating window and you decide you're going to eat chips and cookies and maybe then have a bowl of pasta for dinner and skip the salad. And that's all in your 4-hour eating window. That there's no nutrition in that. So you've got to make your nutrition matter if you're going to do it in that 4-hour eating window. And again, if you are going to play in this game of fasting, this is not a calorie restriction game. So there's a classic statement in fasting where we say, don't eat less often. It's that simple. So I just want to make sure if you're still counting calories that you want to fast, those two things don't go well together, as ironic as that sounds. In fact, those of you, the women out there, my fasting manual is now at the publishers. It's officially at Hay House, being edited over there. It'll come out in December. And like this, the first chapter is all about these myths of dieting that we have played a part of, myself included. And calorie restriction is the stupidest dieting myth I have ever seen. So we definitely don't want to pair something as brilliant as healing your body with fasting and pair that with calorie restriction. That's not what we're looking for. So can you tell I have a bit of an opinion on that one? Okay, so third question. Somebody is underweight and they want to know what the benefits of fasting are if they are underweight and how to avoid losing too much weight. Okay, this is also a really good question, is that, again, these longer fasts. So there are 6 fasts. Just so we're all on the same page, there are 6 fasts that I see that work well based off of research, based off of testing on myself, my community, and then rolling this out over hundreds of thousands of people. There are 6 different fasts, and they range in length from 13 to 72 hours. Some of you want to keep going and do the 5-day and 7-day and 21-day water fast. Hats off to you. I think it's great, and you should be coached if you go into those longer places. Now, here's what I really want to point out is that when you go into those longer fasts, it's going to feel like you've lost weight. And if you're at a weight you've already been at, you don't want to lose any more weight. Yeah, temporarily, the longer fasts are going to give your body the impression you're going to look like you've lost weight. I'm about to go into a 3-day water fast with our Reset Academy. I'm going to be guiding my membership group through a 3-day fast, and we're either going to do it in March or April. So if you want to be guided through one, come join me in my academy. And I will be doing that fast with my academy. And you'll see, I'll document it. You'll see my cheeks will sink in and I'll look more wrinkled, and it will give the appearance that, oh my gosh, it's like fasting, aging her is fasting, making me look making me lose too much weight. But then watch, what I'll do is that when I break my fast, I'll break it systematically, and then I'll go back into hormone feasting. I'll go back into food. I flip and love food. I'm not opposed to eating good quality food. So, but when you go into longer fasts, it may look like you're dropping too much weight, and it's all temporary. As long as when you reintroduce food, you're really conscious about what you eat. Okay. I guess I have a lot of opinions on that today too. So, okay. The fourth question that we got was, how often should you do a 20-hour fast? And then somebody else, the last question, and then I'll come to the questions I see here on YouTube and Facebook. The last question is, why do we shut down eating 3 hours before bedtime? Okay, so how long should you do a 20-hour fast? Now, here's the way I want to answer this. I want to answer it in context of fasting lengths and varying it and making it specific to you. So this is really important. So when somebody says to me, how long should I do a 20-hour fast? I'm like, I don't know you. I don't know what you're trying to accomplish. So if you are trying to have better mental clarity, if you are trying to drop weight, if you are trying to undo gut damage from years ago from antibiotics or birth control, a 20-hour fast every week is imperative. Like no ifs, ands, ifs, or buts. I'm a big fan of what I call the 5-1-1, where 5 days a week, you're intermittent fasting 15 hours. 1 day a week, you elongate your fast, go 20, 24 hours, and 1 day a week, do what you want. Don't fast, eat breakfast, however you want. Great variation. That is an amazing way to mimic what our primal ancestors did. So I love that as a 1 time a week. Now, if you came to me and you said, hey, I've got a really serious autoimmune condition. I've really stuck with my weight. I'm losing memory very quickly. I have no energy. Those kind of chronic conditions can do really well with what I call a 4-2-1, where 4 days a week, you're intermittent fasting, 2 days a week. You are extending that past 20 hours, and 1 day a week, you do what you want. So know that for more chronic conditions. And then I've just, for the sake of throwing it out there, because I know that I've talked about it before, but I don't know, we've got a lot of new people. There's a third crisis variation that I call 3-3-1, where 3 days a week, your intermittent fasting, 3 days a week, your 20-hour plus fasting, and eating one meal on the second 3 days a week. And then 1 day a week, you actually don't eat at all. You're going to go the whole day and into the next day, a 36-hour 1 day a week. And that's really for people with severe conditions. And you should be coached through that as well. Okay, last question. And then I see you guys. I love it. I see you guys here on Facebook and Instagram. This is great. Thank you. I'm seeing your comments. So I want to dive into some of them that are really good. Why shouldn't we eat 3 hours before we go to bed? So I just want to point this out. I've done videos on this. So please go back and watch the videos on YouTube so you have a context for it. But here's what I want you to know, is that when the sun goes down, our eyes sense the day is ending and melatonin kicks in. And melatonin will kick in so that you start to get sleepy. And when melatonin kicks in, you actually shouldn't be eating. So you're more insulin resistant when the sun goes down. So if you eat a meal at 9 o'clock at night and go to bed immediately following that.
When I came to him and I was like, just get a simple skincare routine.
You are going to have a different physiological response to that meal at 9 o'clock at night than you did at 5 o'clock. If you eat that same meal at 5 o'clock and then maybe go for a walk afterwards, maybe get some sun to see the sun setting, and then you sit down and wind down for your evening routine, you will not only get a deeper sleep, but you will not store that meal as fat. Whereas when we are seeing that insulin is going up, you're going to store that as fat much quicker. So it's like the greatest weight loss hack is stop eating 3 hours before bed so that your body actually makes insulin and uses insulin and doesn't store insulin and doesn't store glucose as fat. So I love it. It's such a freeing strategy. And then the other thing I'll tell you on that is that if you guys have an Oura Ring or a Whoop, this is really important because it really makes a difference for your how thorough and deep of a sleep you get. If your body has to digest food and sleep at the same time, one of those is going to give. And usually the digestion gives, which gives you gut problems, makes your body store it as more fat. But if you do that continually, now sleep is going to have to give. So this is why it's a non-negotiable. Let's get dinner eating a lot earlier in the day. Okay, I hope that helps. Now I'm going to go look at some of your comments. There was a couple people. I just want to point out a couple of things around. Somebody said they were feeling dizzy when they went into the longer fast. Let's talk about that for a moment because that's another really interesting consideration that I want you to have. Is that when you go into these longer fasts, there may be a little moment of dizzy. So you have to decide how long you're going to hang in dizzy. So any discomfort, fatigue, hunger, brain fog, just decide before the day goes how long you're going to hang there. So are you going to hang there a half hour, an hour, 15 minutes? But give it a time limit so that you don't go too off into a really bad place. And I'll give you an example of somebody who went into a bad place. So years ago, I had a patient who wanted to go 14 days fasting. And she got in a fasting competition with her cousin, and they were seeing how long they could go. And I told her that was not a great idea. Fasting competitions are not a good idea. So I just want to point that out if you all are competing with each other. And so about day 7, she was super dizzy. Every time she stood up, the room was spinning. I told her, stop fasting, break your fast. It's time to break your fast. Her blood sugar was down to like 50 or 60. She then went to the Resetter Collaborative page, which a lot of you guys are watching me from here, and then asked people there. And thank you, community on the Resetter page, because like thousands of people came in and told her to break her fast, and she still didn't do it because she was in a fasting competition. Long story short, she ended up standing up, passing out, hitting her head on the ground, and then had to deal with issues of a concussion for months after that. That is not how fasting should be. When I say we want you to exercise that muscle and push that muscle, really what I'm saying is go to the edge and then define what that edge, how long you're going to stay at that edge. And it could be 15 minutes, it could be 2 hours. It's really up to you. And this is with dizziness, by the way. This is where the element comes in. The electrolytes can really come in. Okay, I'm reading some of the other ones. Do I have to have a feast day? Woo, this is a good one because they are hard to do when you eat keto with IF if you're not hungry. Okay, Lisa 512, thank you for asking this. Yes, if you're a cycling woman, all women specifically, you got to have a feast day, and it needs to be focused on feeding progesterone because progesterone loses with fasting. Estrogen wins with fasting, progesterone loses with fasting. And as women, we have those two hormones that we've got to really consider. So if you have PCOS, let's just throw that out there, and you've got estrogen mismanagement and insulin resistance and too much testosterone, throwing fasting at PCOS is amazing. And if you have PCOS and you haven't built a fasting lifestyle, I highly encourage that you do it. If you have anxiety, if you are perimenopausal, let's just put it in that category. If you're over 40 and you're perimenopausal, whether you're aware of it or not, your progesterone levels are declining and they're never coming back to what they were at 35 and 25. I'm sorry to tell you. And so you want to feed your progesterone or keep your progesterone foods levels up by feeding them the right foods. And those are not keto foods. So 1 day a week, you do need to step out, Lisa, or step out. If you're a cycling woman, you got to step out a week before to make sure that you are minding progesterone, because you can't help progesterone is not going to be helped with fasting. Okay, there's my very long answer to that. Okay, let me see if I have any more that make me happy and make me want to talk about it. So let's see. So Chris asked about, I assume it's diverticulitis. That any gut issue can be helped with fasting. I really, seriously, for years in my clinic, I would throw so many supplements, expensive supplements at people, solving candida, SIBO, diverticulitis, parasites. And now I don't go after the microbiome in the same way with supplementation. I always make sure that I throw fasting at it first, especially longer fasts, and then I'll go back if I'm not getting the result and go with supplements. So, yeah. Somebody asked about if I have high estrogen. Where was that? Ooh, it was a good one. I like talking about, Mandy. Okay. So if I have high estrogen, should I not fast? Okay. So let's just be really clear that there are 3 types of estrogen. There's one that's protective and one that's cancer causing, and one that's, well, 2 of them are harmful, but one's cancer causing and the other one is just toxic estrogen that's being broken down. So if you have high levels, do you know if that's your total estrogen, or do you know 2-OH, 4-OH, and 16-OH? And that's a really important delineation. So when we look at high estrogen, typically somebody that has high estrogen in the wrong categories, 4-OH and 16-OH. So in that scenario, fasting is really going to help, because what fasting will do is prime your liver so that it can break that estrogen down so it can move and get out of your body. Estrogen, it is so important that you mobilize estrogen. I don't care what your age, you got to get estrogen out of you. So day 1 through day 10 of ovulation, estrogen's coming in strong, or I'm sorry, of your menstrual cycle. Then day 11 to day 15, now all of a sudden you're going to be in ovulation where estrogen's high, progesterone's high. And then day 16, now we're going to be getting rid of estrogen. So you want to look out for things like breast tenderness, swollen joints, brain fog, constipation. These are all signs that estrogen's not getting out of you. So I just really want to be clear on that, because almost every hormonal problem I've seen, with the exception of too little of progesterone, can be solved with fasting, which is why women, when we fast, we have to fast differently, because we have to mind that progesterone. Okay, hope that helped. Okay, yeah, some people are asking questions that I talked about before, like, I don't want to lose so much weight. Yep, okay. Specific questions, you guys, about your health are a little harder for me to talk about. Okay, this is a good one. Andrea RC, alternate day fasting. Do you recommend taking supplements during the fast to avoid hair loss, or double up on feast day? Yeah, that sounds like Andrea. It sounds like you are, or Andrea. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. I've got in my own life, I've got Andreas, Andreas. It's all different.
Thank you for the life.
If you cannot take supplements during your fasting window, then you will need to double up on them on your feet on the days that you're eating. So it's the same thing with, same exact thing with fasting windows of 13 hours. If you can't take your supplements in there, then you got to make sure you get them in your eating window. So that's how I would approach it.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take my vitamins with my soup and my supplements.
Cool. Okay.
My minerals.
Good vibes. Thank you. Sending me good vibes. I'll take good vibes any day. Okay, fasting. Jenny wants to know fasting and autoimmune. I'm concerned my hair will fall out. Okay, I'm about to do a video on fasting, autoimmune, and supplementation. So it's gonna be specifically around vitamin D. So it's gonna be a little different take on fasting. So stay tuned. Make sure you. Did she ask that? Oh yeah, Jenny's on my YouTube. So Jenny, I'm gonna have a video out next week on this exact topic. But let me give you some general guidelines around autoimmunity and fasting. So with autoimmunity, you've got any autoimmune condition, you've got 2 major challenges. The first is that you've got the gut issue you've got to deal with. So you got to make sure you're addressing any kind of gut problem.
And a
24-hour fast will help you do that. Second issue you've got to work on is toxic load. Why is your body attacking itself? And I don't think you said what autoimmune condition you have, but it's attacking the joint. If you have RA, it's attacking your thyroid. If you have Hashimoto's, each autoimmune condition is a different attack on normal healthy tissue, but there's something in that tissue that's making the body attack itself. And so why is it doing that? And this is where moving metabolic flexibility is so important, because moving in and out of different length fasts really primes your metabolic flexibility, makes your liver more efficient at making ketones, which also makes your liver more efficient at getting rid of toxins. It helps with gut health so that you get toxins out of your gut. I mean, there's a whole slew of reasons why you want to build a lifestyle around that. So lupus, yeah. So joints, cartilage. Okay, cool. High cholesterol, fasting for high cholesterol, that you got to go to my videos on opening your detox pathways. Those are really, really important to go look at. So make sure that you have your pathways open. Otherwise, your cholesterol will go up, but it's not a genetic problem. It doesn't mean that you stop fasting. It means you got to open up your pathways. Gum, you have to test gum to see if it will break a fast. So somebody asked about that. And there was another good one here. Oh, okay. Yeah. Somebody asked about Dr. Stephen Finney's video on the metabolic effects. Here's what I would say. Send it to where you're watching this. You're watching this on YouTube. Maybe you can post the video link, so I'll go look at it. But I have not seen a 3-day water fast mess somebody up, their metabolism up. I've only seen it if it was done at a wrong time of a woman's cycle. That's the only time I've seen it. So. Okay, sorry to be a little disjointed today. Technical difficulties starting, but if you guys want more Q&As like this, you need more specific attention. This is what we're doing in my academy. Every Saturday morning in my academy, or most Saturday mornings, I should say, I do a workout and a coffee talk with my community. We have 2 calls a month, except for when we're going to reset. We'll do even more than that. And we're constantly educating you, pouring into you, and answering your questions there. So if for some reason you didn't get it here, come join me in my academy. But as always, you guys are awesome. I love your questions. And we will, I think of this conversation as just sort of like an ongoing, continual conversation that we all are having together. So keep asking the questions and I'll keep coming and turning those into videos and bringing you guys the solutions. So hope you have a beautiful day.
All right. That was a long one. We got one more.
Support the planting of trees by doing this. For every page you print with HP+, HP protects our forests. Oh, look, it's my latest screenplay. I call it You're Welcome, Earth.
And then we'll do the pickle juice review.
Oh, new shoes, new shoes.
Hi, I'm Chris James, and you're watching A Healthy Alternative. Today, we're going to be discussing how to break a 40-day water fast.
Woo! Let's have it.
Piece of the puzzle.
Let's give
you
it
start
up
getting
for
healthy, and you just
TJ.
become a better person. We need to start focusing more on the individual.
So this video was actually requested by one of our members, Ashish, and he is actually on a 40-day water fast right now. And I was thinking, man, I probably did a video where I talked about, 40-day fast, how to break a 40-day fast, or, I might have mentioned it in a video with a different topic, but I haven't done a specific video for this topic. So today we're going to kind of break down the back end of a fast. Oftentimes we talk a lot about prepping and all that stuff. I've got plenty of videos if you're interested in learning about how to prep for a fast. I think I actually have a video called How to Prep for a Fast. But when it comes to coming off of a fast, there's a lot of different factors to consider. And so we're going to get into a few of those today. Now, the most glaring issue that you can come across when you're breaking a long-term fast, such as 30 or 40 days, is really how you're going to break your fast. So what you want to do is make sure that you're taking the proper amount of time to come off of your fast the same way that you prepare for the fast. So it's almost like a reverse process. For example, so if you're going to be fasting for 40 days, you need to take at least 7 days. I would actually push it from 7 to 10 days. So between 7 and 10 days to actually break your fast. Now, what does that mean? When you go on a 40-day fast, there's many processes that your body does on a regular basis while you're eating that are no longer functioning, okay? So the body is intelligent in the sense that it won't waste energy manufacturing fluids or, just going through the motions just because. If you're not eating, there are certain things that it just won't do. And it's kind of interesting how quickly the body seems to get out of practice of doing these things that it's been doing for 20, 30, 40 years every single day. It almost kind of leads you to believe that it's the break your body's always been looking for. So anyway, because of the fact that the body really gets out of practice of digesting food and just eating food during that period of time, you have to give it a period of time to ramp back up, to get its gears going, to warm the car up, however you kind of want to look at it. You got to give it a chance to readjust. So one thing that a lot of people probably don't really consider is everything that you eat, the body is going to create a specific pH balance in the stomach in order to digest that particular food. The more complex the food that you're eating, the more complex or the more hassle it is for your body. So when you come off of a fast, if you eat whole foods, it makes the process so much easier for your body, all right? Because it only has to worry about, very simple foods that it has to break down versus the chemical cocktails and Frankenstein foods that we typically eat. So whole foods is definitely at the top of the list when you're looking to break your long-term water fast. The other thing that you want to be looking at is high water content in the food. Now, I've talked about this many times. We are 70+% water. We want to be eating what we are. When we consider high water content, we're talking 75, 80% water. So you want the foods to be mostly water, and the more water it is, the better. Some examples of this would include mushrooms, avocados, tomatoes, cucumbers, squash, watermelons being one of the most favorite of people breaking long fasts. As a matter of fact, I just watched a guy who broke a 40-day fast, and he broke it with watermelon. And he was describing that, he basically said that the watermelon tastes like candy. Now, I have not done a 40-day fast before, but I have done, 13 days, 30 days. And I do know that, like, if I'm not really a big fan of watermelon, but if I eat like grapes or something, they're too sweet. Like I really can't eat them. So it's interesting how much your taste buds adjust. And that's actually something that you could use to your benefit. So it might not sound fun to break your fast with high water content whole foods, but believe you don't want to miss it. And you're not going to want to mess it really bad for you. But number two, you're going to be missing out on almost a spiritual experience. It's really different eating food coming off of long-term fast. If you've never done it, if you've never experienced it, you won't get it. You need to try it. You need to experience it. So this is another really hidden gem of doing long-term water fasting. Now, outside of eating whole foods, when you're breaking your long-term water fast, you could obviously do something that's liquid. So like soup would be a great example, or broth. You just want to be careful that you're not eating like really creamy soups, anything with like dairy and stuff like that in it. You don't want in your soups or anything like that coming off of a 40-day fast. Your stomach will thank me. All right. Also, you want to make sure that there's not a whole bunch of salt in your food. You should find that coming off of a 40-day fast, you don't really require nearly as much seasoning because your taste bud, your tongue's going to be so much more sensitive. So just do your best to kind of break that habit. It's really a mental thing of just putting a ton of salt and seasoning on foods and really experience the natural flavors. I've mentioned before that coming off of I think it was a 13 or 14-day fast that I did, for the first time, I experienced the sweetness of a bell pepper, right? I mean, a bell pepper is a fruit, and while it's not considered to be a sweet fruit, there is a sweetness to it. It's just very interesting having those experiences. Now, more specifically, you're eating these different foods. If you're going to do vegetables, I would say hold off, especially coming on a 40-day fast. You want to hold off for at least 3 or 4 days eating vegetables because vegetables are much more dense. So you just want to be doing like juice, soup, and fruit for your first 3 days. And then, rounding day 4 or so, you can start doing your vegetables. And you want to make sure that you're steaming your vegetables. We want to really optimize hydration coming off of these fasts because it makes it easier. Hi, I'm Chris James, and you're watching A Healthy Alternative. Today, we're going to be discussing how to day 5 and 6. You can also, I didn't mention you can do smoothies throughout this time. Smoothies are a 7-day, breaking of the fast. You can start incorporating your denser foods like rice, your grains, and things like that. Just don't put a ton of salt on your food that causes water retention. Remember that your body is very sensitive coming off of a fast. And the reason why we gain so much weight coming off of our fast is because of things like water retention. All right. So oftentimes it's not real, fat or anything like that. It's just your body retaining water because we're going back to eating all of these processed foods and things where your body really has to suspend the toxicity of the foods. So the more closely you stick to this, the better your result will be. Now, as you're rounding the end of your 7-day, breaking of the fast, you can start incorporating your denser foods like rice, your grains, and things.
Dang, where
Do your
was I
best to
at?
kind of break that habit. It's really a mental thing of just putting a ton of salt and seasoning on foods and really experience the natural flavors. I've mentioned before that coming off of I think it was a 13 or 14-day fast
Oh
that I
well,
did. For the
we're gonna
first
go from
time,
here.
I experienced the sweetness of a bell pepper, right?
Yeah,
I mean, a bell
I
pepper
remember
is a
this
fruit,
story.
and while it's not considered to be a sweet fruit, there is a sweetness to it. It's just very interesting having
Okay.
those experiences. Now, more specifically, you're eating these different foods. If you're going to do vegetables, I would say hold off, especially coming on a 40-day fast. You want to hold off for at least 3 or 4 days eating vegetables because vegetables are much more dense. So you just want to be doing like juice, soup, and fruit for your first 3 days. And then, rounding day 4 or so, you can start doing your vegetables. And you want to make sure that you're steaming your vegetables. We want to really optimize hydration coming off of these fasts because it makes it easier for the body to digest. And that's really the benefit of it. You want to make sure that the food is as easy as possible for the body to digest so that it can, once again, get back in the swing of things. This is the important part. And this is where people really, really damage themselves. That's why I'm spending so much time talking about this particular aspect. A lot of the horror stories that you may have heard about people breaking long-term fast, It's not the fast itself. It's almost always the refeed. It's almost always, coming off the fast, either feeling ravenously hungry or just not having the knowledge and eating pizza or, going to a buffet or whatever the case may be. You can really, really damage yourself. So you want to eat small portion sizes. You want to eat high water content foods. As you move on to the vegetables, you can steam them, make them soft, add water to them, make sure it's easy for the body to digest. Don't put a ton of salt on your food. That causes water retention. Remember that your body is very sensitive coming off of a fast. And the reason why we gain so much weight coming off of our fast is because of things like water retention. All right. So oftentimes it's not real, fat or anything like that. It's just your body retaining water because we're going back to eating all of these processed foods and things where your body really has to suspend the toxicity of the foods. So the more closely you stick to this, the better your result will be. Now, as you're rounding the end of your 7-day, breaking of the fast, you can start incorporating your denser foods like rice, your grains and things like that, quinoa, nuts, things of that nature. So you want to do that around day 5 and 6. You can also, I didn't mention you can do smoothies throughout this time. Smoothies are okay. You really want to hold off on your dairy products. You really don't want to be introducing those types of things into your diet for the first 7 days coming off of a 40-day water fast. I'm just warning you. I know some of you all will do it. I'm just warning you, your stomach may not respond well. And it may be a good lesson for you too, because sometimes we have to touch the stove to know it's hot. Some people are like that. And, having these really, really painful and uncomfortable experiences will actually get you to understand how detrimental these foods are to your system. See, when your system gets clean and you're eating clean food, you'll see how your bowel movements work. You'll see how your digestion works. You'll see that you won't be gassy. You'll see that you won't be burping. You will get an opportunity to see all of this stuff. And then when you start incorporating your dairy, your meat products, your synthetic foods, your processed foods, you'll get to see how that changes, how the bloating comes back, how the gas starts up. And then you'll start to understand, oh, this stuff isn't just natural. This isn't just normal. I'm not supposed to just feel heavy and bloated all the time and constipated. My bowel movements are supposed to be much bigger than what they are. The actual fecal matter isn't supposed to be so compacted. You'll start to see these changes. So another good, idea for this period of time, you put in all that energy and effort into, doing a 40-day fast. Make sure that you record and pay attention to all of the changes that you experience as you change your dietary strategy. Now, obviously, the optimal thing to do would be to stay with the high water content fruits and vegetables as a baseline for your diet. But I understand that a lot of us are going to go back to, different diets that we're used to, and that's a whole process. So once you have taken a good 7 days to break your actual 40-day water fast, then you can start introducing your denser foods, your meats, your potatoes, which, roots and things like that. You can start doing your dairy product and whatever you would kind of traditionally eat. I would just caution you not to eat it in a quantity that is, that you would consider normal. I would really focus on portion control, because this will allow you to reincorporate these foods without once again hurting yourself. So that's kind of the goal of this, is to make sure that you come out of this fast safely. Now, a lot of things I just touched on are also going to play into this idea that we don't want to come off the fast and experience some type of refeeding syndrome. We don't want to come off the fast and experience, this, you don't want to blow up as far as your weight goes. And you certainly don't want to hurt yourself. So the refeeding syndrome is really going to be very closely connected to the foods you're eating. All right. And that's the reason the base of this conversation is really around food. We have to consider the effect that the chemical constituents of the food that we eat have on our internal environment. This is not like fake news. This is real. And one of the ways that I kind of make this correlation is like this. We all know that if we drink alcohol, it's going to have an effect on our body, right? You start feeling a little maybe dizzy, or it might have a calming effect. It might make things seem more funny than they are. It's also a depressant. So what I've noticed is if you drink alcohol and you're already in a depressive state, it exacerbates that depression. Or you could be in a good mood. You could actually be in a good place, but drink too much, and it will start to cause you to have depressed thoughts. Now, I was talking to one of my good friends the other day about, just starting a new business and just taking risk and things like that. And he said he was struggling with taking risks and just pulling the trigger, was his words. Well, I told him that, if you really address the foods you're eating, not just address the foods you're eating, but also go through a process of detoxification and maintain healthy foods, you will kind of start to come out of that depression and that place where you feel like you can't accomplish things, or you're very nervous. If you're the type of person who's constantly second guessing yourself, or just feeling like things never go right, you may want to consider the foods you're eating. And all of this will be highlighted or exemplified after a 40-day water fast. Your body will be so sensitive. So this is where a lot of the refeeding syndrome and things come from. Also, obviously, the foods we're eating, you know, there's chemicals in there that are designed to make you addicted, to make you crave. So this is the one of the big issues with refeeding syndrome, and especially coming off of a 40-day fast. You're giving your body such an enormous amount of time to detox the system. It really is going to be, you know, kind of like reset, and you're going to be very sensitive. So when you come off, you got to do it the right way. If you don't do it the right way, you're going to start unraveling the work that you put in. One other option that will help you a lot with just avoiding the refeeding syndrome and just that whole yo-yoing, the blowing up thing, is to in your fast or start your refeed with some coconut water, as well as when you start getting towards day 7, you can start doing some leafy green juices to help to make sure that the cravings are under control and everything like that. Obviously, you could do a Slim and Sassy oil, essential oil, with your refeed to help to suppress appetite and further detox. But at the end of the day, I would say one of the most impacting things that you could do is, especially as you're nearing the end of your fast, is start doing some mental exercises. You want to make sure that you're telling yourself, okay, when I break the fast, this is how I'm going to perform. When I break the fast, this is what I'm going to eat. This is what I'm not going to eat. It's also going to be a good idea to clear out your cabinet and your refrigerator. All of the foods that we understand that are detrimental to our health, we're going to remove them, make the access to them difficult. All right. And as we're getting closer to getting ready to break our fast, we're going to replenish our refrigerator with the foods that we know are going to be beneficial. There's a saying that says, we don't plan to fail, we just fail to plan. Right. So although I'm not really big on hard plans, because I feel like we have to be fluid in life, we do want to set ourselves up for success. So have those good, healthy foods readily available. Do not come off your fast and have a vacation planned. Right. This is kind of part of that planning and the mental work. Oftentimes we'll say, okay, I'm gonna do this 40-day fast, and then I'm gonna fast till my birthday. Well, that's fine, but oftentimes people want to celebrate their birthday, and that's fine as well. But you have to consider your personality. If you're the type of person who you're very susceptible to outside influences, it may not be a good idea to break your 40-day fast on your birthday, knowing that you're going to celebrate, knowing that you're going to party, knowing that you're going to drink or eat inappropriately or whatever the case may be. That's not something you want to do, and I hear that a lot. So, and I'm not saying that you can't do it. You just need, everyone's an individual. You need to know what you can and can't do. You need to know your strong suits and your weak points, and don't put yourself in a position where you're lacking. So I talk about a lot of these types of things in my book, Metamorphosis: A Journey to Holistic Wellness. That's on sale now. You guys can check that out at ahealthyalternative.org. I did want to let you all know that the Cancun trip was pushed back. Thank you, coronavirus. The resort pretty much canceled or pushed the date of them reopening back at the last minute. Literally, we're supposed to go this week, this week, and they.
Okay, one more video, one more for real. This is the last one. This one is about refeeding, just as a reminder of what it is and why you don't want to be one of those people that's having a problem with it. I don't want to be one of those people because I know it's coming. The test is coming. I'm gonna have to be baby spoon in my soup. For real.
We're going to talk about refeeding after a prolonged fast. I'm talking about maybe 4, 5 to 7 day fast. I'm not talking about like 2 days. It's a rare situation, but it can occur. It's called the refeeding syndrome. And what happens is you're getting a shift of nutrients from your blood to the cells, inside the cells. So you have extracellular to intracellular in a malnourished state. So let's say, for example, you have nutrient deficiencies already going into a fast, which, by the way, you should never have anyone with nutritional deficiencies. Like, let's say you have an alcoholic or someone who's anorexic or something like that, and you have known vitamin nutrient deficiencies or some disease, and then you have them fast and not take supplements during their fasting period. Quite dangerous, because what will happen is that as soon as they start eating and get this flood of nutrients, it's going to go inside the cell and really drop the nutrients inside the blood, like phosphorus, potassium, magnesium, and even B1, and it can be quite dangerous. You can actually faint. You can have a lot of cramping in your stomach and a lot of other more serious symptoms. So you want to break a fast slowly, but here's the thing. If you're taking nutrients, electrolytes, B vitamins during the fasting period, and sea salt, you're going to be totally fine. I'm talking about a situation where you're not. And the other point is that when you break the fast with non-keto friendly foods, okay, let's say they're higher carbohydrate foods, that alone can deplete your potassium, your phosphorus, your magnesium, and your B1, because those foods deplete nutrients, and that can create a big problem. So you always want to break the fast with keto-friendly foods and do it slowly and gradually go into fasting over a period of time so you don't shock the system. I just want to bring this point up because I did have someone actually faint after 2 days of fasting, and it was because they did not have enough nutrients, and then they broke the fast with a higher carbohydrate meal. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hey, if you're liking this content, please subscribe now, and I will actually keep you updated on future videos.
That's the Dr. Bird's electrolyte powder.
Serious income.
The guy that's
And the way that they do that,
don't need a real estate license.
don't need a license,
Don't need credit.
don't need credit.
That was his product. It has those things he was talking about in it. Not necessarily. Yeah, it's got a lot of stuff in it. Got the calcium, magnesium chloride, sodium, potassium, and trace mineral complex. Lemon flavor and orange flavor. Pickle juice time. All right. Pickle juice review time. Fun, fun, fun. First up, we have this guy. This one I tried already. I'm going to call this one highlighter pickle juice. I don't know how real it is. It says it has vinegar, water, vinegar, salt, calcium chloride, fermented, 1/10 of 1% of sodium benzoate, preservative, natural flavors, EDTA, color retainer, and turmeric. Refrigerate between 34 and 40 degrees. 2 calories, 210 milligrams of sodium per ounce. 1 carb. Came from where? I don't know. 23 milligrams of sodium, 31 milligrams of potassium. This one is the neon colored one. And here it is. I've already had this one. I'm going to do it again anyway. I had the other one first, but this one smells like chemicals. It tastes like pickle juice, really. It's really salty. It's really sour. It tastes like chemicals a little bit too. But that's okay. I'm going to keep it. Now, next, a better one. Deal with it pickle brine juice by Pop's Pepper Patch. It has water, vinegar, salt, calcium chloride, sodium benzoate, spices, garlic, turmeric, and polysorbate 80. Looks very different, don't it? They look like cousins. This will look like something you clean your toilet with. This one, it looks good. The smell is different too. I poured it in a glass, one of my weed jars. So, yeah. It smells a little sweeter. I tried it already. It smells a lot cleaner. It does not smell like chemicals. Swear to God. Drastic difference, right? This is what I be thinking I'll be drinking in my pickle juice when I buy pickles from the store, but maybe not. But that's a big difference. Okay? Okay. That's all I got to say. I'm going to keep bringing that one up. It's foggy. Oh, wait a minute. Where's my straw? I got straws. Ta-da! So I don't accidentally suck seeds in wherever their seeds are. It definitely tastes like a different brand. Tastes totally different. It tastes heartier, I guess. It tastes more like that one tastes like store-bought pickle, like the pickle you get in a single pack. This one tastes like this one tastes good. I want to drink all of it. That one I can't drink all of it. This one almost tastes like beans. For real. Okay. We'll leave that one there. The next runner up, I got this brand last time, but it was just pickle juice. But this one is an organic one. Mount Olive Pickles Organic Kosher Deal Spears. It has organic cucumbers, water, organic vinegar, hey, sea salt, calcium chloride firming agent, organic natural flavors, and organic turmeric for color. And that one is this one. Still don't look like highlighter. It looks a little lighter than this other one. Just a little lighter. The other one down there on the floor, that big one's not organic. But that's okay. This one has seeds, though. Avoid the seeds. Mmm. This one tastes different too. I'm glad I'm trying them all because this really tastes different. I want to rinse my mouth out, but this one tastes like a different kind of bean. Well, I like it. It just tastes different. It tastes like a whole nother one. For real, it almost tastes like I can't put my finger on what kind of green bean, but that's what it tastes like. Okay. This one is another Mount Olive organic product, kosher baby deals. What's the difference? I don't know. I'm gonna find out. Organic cucumbers, water, organic vinegar, sea salt, calcium chloride firming agent, organic natural flavors, and organic turmeric for color. 260 milligrams of sodium. Woohoo! These are the baby deals. I'm gonna take the pickles out and put them in the refrigerator. Well, I'm gonna drink all the juice out and I'm gonna just put the pickles in the refrigerator and I'm gonna eat those after the fast. I might eat those to break my fast. But here is that one. That juice looks pretty clear. It's clearer. No, it's almost the same. No, it's clear. It's clear. I can see straight through this one. This one's clearer than this one, the first one. I mean the other one, and it's clearer than this one, of course. If it's clearer than that one, they get clearer and clearer, it seems like. Nothing like the highlighter one. Let's see what this one tastes like. It might taste the same. I'll be surprised, but I won't. Wow. Really, they taste that different? Am I just tripping? I don't mind them, but the cleaner they get, the more they taste a little less like pickle. Let me see. And they all seem like they got the same ingredients. So how they taste so different? That one almost tastes like potato. This one almost tastes like vodka. Almost. Let me try this one again. Yeah, that one still tastes like beans. Good beans, though. All right. Last but not least, Whole Food Market brand 365 organic kosher deal babies. And that one looks like this. It was full. This one is about the clearest one of them all. If it's not this one. Yeah, this one's a little yellow. Maybe because of that straw. No, this one's a little foggy compared to this one. This one's much more clear, like water. All right. Let's try the Whole Food brand. That's good. What's in it? What's the ingredient? Organic cucumbers, water, organic distilled white vinegar, salt, organic dehydrated garlic, calcium chloride, natural flavors, and organic turmeric. They all about the same ingredients wise, but they all taste different. So who wins? Who wins? Who's the winner? Who's gonna be my date tonight? Mount Olive, Whole Foods, kind of losing. This one almost tastes like vodka too. The clearest ones, they must have distilled them a lot or something. I don't know what they did. I mean, I like it, but it don't make me want to just gulp it down. That's for sure. So that's not the winner. That's definitely not the winner. I might drink this one first just to get it out of my life or mix it. Should I mix them? I should mix them. Mix the pickle juices. That's silly, is it not? I don't know. I don't know. That one tastes kind of weird, but I like it. It tastes like you got pepper in it. Well, that was fun. It's weird how they all taste so different, though. I'm gonna drink them up though, cause I'm feeling little chest problems. Want to make sure I'm good. It'd be better if it had oil in them. They would be great if they had oil in them. Wait till I'm done with this fast, man. I might eat the pickles. I might eat one pickle and put some weed oil on it. I might. No, I'm gonna just put it in my soup. I'm gonna eat it. I don't know, man. It's hard to decide what I want to eat. I want to eat the avocado. Then I want to put an avocado in some soup, tomato soup. Then I want to put some pickle juice in it. Like, why do I want pickle juice in it? I got 20 something days left, so I ain't gonna worry about it. Well, that's that. Um, man, it's hard to say if the chemically one is worse than that last one. Ooh, it's starting to smell like it smelled like something that came out of that's supposed to be in an aerosol can. It smell like paint. Fingernail polish almost. Fingernail. Smell like nope, I can't pin that smell. Markers. Glue. That's the smell. It smells like glue. Probably why it's not getting old. I had it out for 2 days. They said put it in the refrigerator. Ha. All right, I guess I'll sip on my pickle juice on my own, alone. That's that. 3 days. 3 weeks, 0 days, 4 hours, and 20 minutes. I'm counting. Yeah, this was fun. I'm out.